No, I
Whoa, whoa,
completely
whoa.
disagree with you. Like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not having this.
Yeah, sir. He's gone. I think I went too far. Today, in this video, we're going to be talking about whether SEO is dead, whether niche sites are dead, and what's actually working right now, plus my action plan moving forward. Because it's a pretty serious video. I think it's going to get quite heated today, honestly. I think
Yeah,
Kaz,
sure.
you probably disagree with me on a lot of this stuff that we're going to talk about today, right?
Yeah, I think that by the end of this video, there's going to be certain things that I'm going to say that you're going to agree with, and there's going to be certain things that you're going to say and show me that I'll probably agree with as well. There'll definitely be some middle line, but there'll also be a little bit of disagreements. But yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Don't hold anything back.
So you are very much in the sense that niche sites aren't dead, and I'm on the opposite. So start it off. Why do you think niche sites aren't dead?
I wouldn't say they're thriving better than ever. Like, I definitely wouldn't say that. But what I would say is that I've seen a lot of content sites, particularly new sites on new domains, perform
Mhm.
very well. So far, I've seen a lot of new, particularly AI sites doing very well. What have you seen?
So it's I've also seen new niche websites perform very well. Like I think that there's a lot of testing groups that we're both involved in, and there's people popping off every single day with new websites. That's that's not to say that it's a future-proof strategy. And what I mean by that is you can definitely go and launch a new affiliate website today, and in a couple months' time, you would probably will be performing very well, or maybe not very well, but you'll start ranking for some keywords. Um, the one caveat to all of this is that fresh websites doesn't look like they were impacted by the HCU. It almost looks like there's kind of like a threshold that they look at and they're like, right, if this website is, I'm not saying these are the exact stats, but if this website is getting over 5,000 views, or sorry, 5,000 visits, we're gonna look at it from a HCU perspective, and we're gonna see if that content is helpful, what that website's about. Is there trust factors in place for that website? What kind of traffic sources is that website getting its traffic from? And then they typically look at it. So yes, these new websites that people are launching now might not be impacted, but they might get impacted in a few months' time. And my guess is that they probably will get impacted by it.
Yeah, I mean, here's an example, right? So this is one I actually showed on YouTube yesterday in the auto blogging case study. But you can
Mhm.
see, for example, this new bunny website, Bunny Eat, by the legendary Dwight Solo. You can see that the traffic is increasing and the keywords are going up nicely. Now, this was a brand new domain. You can see that it started ranking. If we remove the referring domains, you can see it started ranking just after March the 5th, after the core update. But I would agree with you. If you look at older sites, particularly ones that were doing very well last year, so say up to July 2023, like housefresh.com, their site has been absolutely destroyed after the
Yeah.
helpful content update. And the same with Retro Doda. I know this has been trending everywhere, and you can see they were at 500,000 traffic, over 500,000, and the traffic just went down. So, like, it's very interesting to see that actually brand new sites are popping off and doing very well. And these old sites where they've established a lot of authority, a lot of trust, and they're actually creating good content have taken a massive hit. Now, the other thing that I've seen, and this is crazy too, is that, for example, my mentor, I won't say what niche is, but when he was teaching me SEO, his site was absolutely popping off. And it seemed like everything that he created was doing really well. He was kind of in the animals niche. Now, even though he's hired writers, proper enthusiastic about the content, he's bought the products, shipped them out to the UK to get the reviews written about. That site took a massive hit. Whereas if I look at some AI SEO sites like Charles showed me one in exactly the same niche, that site's traffic is going up better than ever and easier than ever. And the old site that my mentor had is taking a massive hit. And it's like, does Google just favor new sites now?
It's like I can sit here and people might think, oh, well, is Kaz a magician? Can he look into the future? But I think that a lot of the new websites that are using the exact same SEO strategy that they were doing before, following the exact same methodology and stuff like that, they will get hit at some point. And it's kind of like if you think of it, right? Previously, prior to like the HCU update, even in September last year, everybody was just doing copycat content. So what I mean by that is like everybody was using the exact same tools. They were using Surfer SEO or Phrase or whatever to write their content. And what does that what does that realistically do? The those content writing tools. They go and look at the top 10 ranking websites and they will just copy all the subheadings that they have. So for example, if say for example, if juliangoldie.com was ranking for best televisions, or sorry, it wasn't ranking for best televisions and you wanted to start ranking for best televisions, you would just go and surf for SEO or whatever content writing tool that you use, and you just grab all all the subheadings that are on page one, and you would just rehash those subheadings. But that's not a good user experience because, for example, if somebody's clicked on position one and they've not had a good user journey on that website and they're bouncing back to the results page, they're going on page or position two, and it's the exact same article basically, just rehashed in a different way in it and SEO optimized in a different way. And then they go back and position three is the same. Well, what's that? What's that telling Google? Google understands that it just doesn't. The person doesn't like that SERP. So there definitely has to be a shift. I think it's just a matter of time where these new websites will get hit again.
Yeah, I think you're right there. What do you think to, for example, the Verge.com? For example, I can't imagine that they're going through Surfer SEO and doing all these content outlines based on the competitors. And it seems like usually they do their research when it comes to the articles and the content itself. They have a lot
I
of authority. They've created a lot of good content.
I look at the Verge, and it'll be interesting to know what you think of this, right? But I look at the Verge kind of like our YouTube channels, and what I mean by that is sometimes they'll upload something that's super clickbaity that gets a lot of people talking about it. And it'll get shared loads on social media. I am thinking of the same website, the Verge, where they went after like SEOs and they said that SEOs have ruined Google.
Yeah,
Is that this?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like they'll create an article like that, right? And it will get spoken about loads in the actual SEO space. And it's just getting loads of traffic from other sources. So I think that they probably do it right, where in some cases they are kind of like pissing people off to get more clicks through to their website. Now, is that the right way of doing it? Well, kind of. Well, we kind of do that on our YouTube channels. We will do like a clickbaity YouTube video and then deliver something, and it's like, actually, I never thought of that. I never thought about doing, let's say, keyword research with Claude or whatever the clickbait is. And they kind of do it with their articles. What do you think?
I just think there's still no clarity on what actually went on during the helpful content update last year. Like they do create good content. A lot. I've read some of their articles and I've seen some of their YouTube videos too, and they're pretty interesting. Like when they interviewed the CEO of Google about
Mhm.
why their site got hit, and then they asked him to check out the AI overviews and the responses to that. But it doesn't seem like that justified in terms of why they got hit over time. And if a
Yeah.
site like that, propped up by a DR92 backlink profile, gets hit, then anyone can take a hit without
I
any explanation, right?
I think on the grand scheme of things, they didn't lose that much. I know it looks bad because they've went from 10,000 organic traffic or
10
9.5 down
million.
to yeah 10 million, sorry, to down to five. But there's some HCU hit websites that have been demolished 92%, 90%. So on the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, it is an interesting one because again, like the Verge, for example, it's one of those websites where it's like, well, apart from clickbaiting people onto your website, what else are they doing? There's no real resistance. But the good thing about the Verge as well is, like, I know we're just looking at the SEO traffic, but I'm sure they have a mailing list as well, don't they? That you can subscribe to.
They're pretty smart, I think, because they diversified a lot before they even got hit. So
Yeah.
even with YouTube, they get a lot of traction. They get a lot of views there. But I mean, the thing that I would say though with their site, with their SEO, is that it's in a negative state, as Corey Tugberg would say, and it's
Yeah.
dropping down and down and down. So yeah, it's gone from like 10 million down to 5 million, but it seems like it's just going to keep going down and there's no sign of reversal. What I
Mhm.
would say as well is, like, if you look at, for example, the niche site retrododo.com, I still don't know whether they were, using Surfer and all these tools, or whether they were actually creating something of genuine value when it comes to their content. And they got hit. You can see the traffic went from like 500,000 down to 44,000. So 90% of the traffic pretty much in a brutal way. That doesn't make that much sense. Like, even if you look at the content, like, they've actually taken screenshots from the game. They've
Yeah.
actually played the game. It's got first-hand user experience.
If you want to know my honest answer, Julian, and this is being like legit as possible, I think, and about 6 months ago, I had the counter answer to this, but I think a lot of I think what's ended up happening is Google has looked at, like, let's say, an average of 1,000 websites or 100 websites, and those 100 websites, they might have been genuine spam, or they're just uploading 15 articles a day, 20 articles a day, and they might even be server optimized. They might not be, who knows? And they've just said, right, any website that matches this framework, we're gonna go after, right? And they've definitely not looked at Retro Dodo or The Verge or whatever, and they've said, right, this website's getting it. Retro Dodo's getting it, right? They've definitely not done that, but they might have a certain criteria where they're like, right, it might be like a 10-point checklist or a 20-point checklist, and they've said, right, this website is getting impacted. I think at some point there will be like a little bit of a correction or a reversal. If I'm being honest,
Oh, what, sorry?
a correction.
Oh, right, okay.
There you go.
So let's look at the opposite now. So we were talking about new domains and how well they're performing. So if we look at Perplexity AI, obviously it's an AI tool. The content, a lot of it is created with AI.
Hmm.
It's not first-hand experience. It's not someone like actually testing the stuff that they're ranking for and that sort of thing. And on the other hand, it's a brand new domain, a lot of AI content on there. And you can see that they've gone from like 18,000 traffic back in February last year, all the way up to 2.7 million traffic. And bear in mind, like, a lot of that will be branded search. But at the same time, this is what I'm seeing. It's like new domains are just ranking better than ever and taking the spot of the old domains that got hit during helpful content update.
Yeah, it's I think another really good thing, or another positive factor that Perplexity has, is the amount of sheer users that's genuinely actually landing on that website, and using it and doing branded search and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people are talking about website recoveries, and they say branded search isn't working. And the reason why they're saying that is because they've not done branded search correctly. They've just manipulated it using black hat techniques. Whereas if you're actually genuinely getting actual genuine visitors searching Good Julian Goldie or Perplexity or casualdash.com or whatever the case may be, um, and they're landing on your website and they're taking their time to actually read through your website and look at certain pages and stuff like that, and there's good dwell time on your website, that helps big time. Like, that's one testing factor that we've tested a lot on. And every time when we've tried like a black hat technique versus a legitimate way of actually getting branded search through to our brands, the legitimate way is always won.
Mm. What do you think to these platforms performing better than ever? Like, for example, let's take a look at some examples like school.com. You can see obviously this was bought and invested. Well, Sam Ovens owns it and Alex Hormozy invested in it, and you can see their traffic is going up nicely. LinkedIn traffic has gone up like crazy. Medium to and SoundCloud have done pretty well, over the last couple of years or so. What do you think to these sites where, people, it's kind of like people are just ranking within the ecosystem of that platform?
Um, again, it's kind of coming back down to like the user generated content stuff. So it's kind of like saying what I think of Reddit. Well, Reddit at one point they were really good. Like I would probably go out my way and search like if I wanted a new monitor. At one point, maybe not now because it's been littered by SEOs, but at one point I would actually genuinely go on Reddit because I'm getting 15 people's viewpoints on Reddit. I'm not just listening to one person. And I think that's where a lot of content websites did kind of get it a little bit wrong, where it's just one person's viewpoint. It's kind of like just me, or it's kind of like somebody just listening to you on SEO and thinking, right, backlinks is the best thing. I need 10 million backlinks. And it's like, well, no, Julian's just probably said that just to like get you on board with the link building. They'll probably go and listen to maybe 4 or 5 other SEOs and they're like, right, okay, I don't need 10 million backlinks. I might only need 50 backlinks, right? I think that's where a lot of content websites did get it wrong, where it's like you're only just listening to one person's viewpoint. Whereas with certain tools like Reddit, you're very quickly able to get 10 or 15 people's viewpoints. And same goes with school as well. School's kind of like a community where you can, if, say, for example, I bet if you were to search, let's say, school for lawyers, there'll be tons of like little mini masterminds that you could probably join on that. And you could talk to genuine people, not just AI written content or not just content written by one person.
So we've covered what's not working, which is kind of like the old niche site model. And a lot of these older domains are getting smashed.
Mhm.
Some of them, it's not that logical, I would say, in terms of what's been hit and what's not. What would you say is actually working right now?
So expired domains I've seen work very well. There's a few private testing groups that I'm in, and they're working better than ever. You might need to do like a little bit more due diligence. I know we were speaking about this before the actual call and stuff like that, but they're working very well. Obviously, you've got the likes of e-commerce websites, you've got the likes of local business websites. Those are thriving more than ever. So if you did want to do more of a pivot and not do another content website or another niche affiliate website, you could definitely go down that route. Or potentially you could even do a hybrid. I've seen a lot of hybrid websites do very well as well. So what I mean by that is you might start off with a content-based website, but you might actually be selling your own product. So it's kind of like a split between content versus content versus e-commerce, where you're just selling maybe 10 or 15 of your own products. It might be chairs, it might be tables, whatever the case may be. So you could go down that route as well. And again, like you've been smashing this big time recently with your case studies and stuff. But Parasite SEO, like LinkedIn Pulse, stuff like that, is working better than ever. So there's still a lot of money to be made in SEO. Don't I know we've titled this video "Our Niche Website's Dead." You probably just need to pivot. Also, another thing as well that, like, for example, guys like Jason Mills are doing some serious numbers in is Reddit. So he's essentially like hijacking the Reddit traffic that's getting, and he's sticking his affiliate links in his posts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ways. Like I've just told you about 6 different ways to earn money. It's just all about taking action now, I think.
Yeah, I think ranking on other platforms works really well. I also think YouTube SEO still
Yeah.
working better than ever. So, for example, you can see a video we created like a week ago. It's already at 54.7K traffic, ranking really nicely for multiple keywords. If we check out some of the keywords it's ranking for, you can see perplexity and AI related stuff all the way down. And it was really easy. to rank for those keywords. It wasn't really much SEO. It was just create a good video that people actually like. The other thing,
Yeah.
like you say, I think local SEO works extremely well. And those are pretty much the three things that work in terms of SEO. Is like local SEO, YouTube SEO, and ranking on other platforms.
Yeah, definitely. It's the thing is, it's like with YouTube and stuff. Well, I say it's the only thing. Like, if you create a good video, which I feel like we both are, it's very easy to rank that video because people will get hooked. They will read the end, or not read, but they will watch the entire video. So I think it does definitely help.
Yeah, 100%. Is there anything else that you would recommend? Obviously, you mentioned expired domains as well.
Yeah. So expired domains, take a look at websites that have got a social profile. So, like, for example, if they've got a LinkedIn, if they have a Facebook, if potentially, in some cases, you might even land lucky and they were a registered company before and they've got a company's house in the UK registered. It's all just these little micro wins that you can definitely do with expired domains.
One final thing that I would say is AI SEO is just working so well as well. So, for example, this website completely generated with AI and then human edited. Same for this one, Originality AI. I think a lot of people already know the brand, but I interviewed the founder of Originality AI on YouTube, and he was saying how he's got a set of foreign writers, but they'll use AI to correct the grammar and that sort of thing. And this tends to work really well. You can see the traffic is growing to 270,000. And then the final case study with proof that AI SEO actually works. You can see, for example, twomen.it, which is income stream surfers client's website. So this website went from, it was like 800 traffic last year up to 9,300, and that's rising. So it seems to me like a lot of human written sites got hit. For example, we were looking at The Verge, we were looking at House Fresh, for example, but these AI sites are performing better than ever.
AI's taking over the world.
It is, for sure.
No, it is a good point that you make because, like, I remember when the spam update they got released in Feb. Was it in Feb? I want to say it
March,
was in
March 5th, wasn't
March.
it?
March the 5th. Yeah, sorry. Um, a lot of people said AI sites have all been hit. It's definitely not the case. I feel like anybody that is saying that, they've just not done enough testing on it. And the scary thing is I've heard some big names say that as well. I won't repeat who, but it is scary that everybody just jumped on the bandwagon. And again, it's kind of like the rumor mill in SEO. Like, one person says something and everybody takes it for granted. So always definitely do your own testing.
You just got to focus on facts over opinions, right? It's quite easy just to pull up a chart of a human written site versus an AI site, and you can see over the last 12 months which one's performing best.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially, I think the wider you can look at that, if you can look at 50 or 100 different sites, then the data is going to be much more statistically relevant, right?
Yeah, for sure. What one added thing as well, like the last thing, and then we'll call it a day on this video. But there's a lot of aggregator YouTube websites where what they'll do is they will go to this video and they will download the transcript of this video and they'll upload, or they'll embed this video on their website, and they will also upload the transcript. All that is just AI content at the end of the day. They've just used AI and they rank very well as well.
Yeah.
So AI is definitely not dead. It's just how you use it. I feel like if you're using it to spam Google, you're gonna fall into a lot of trouble. But if you're actually using it to write genuine content, then it can definitely help.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of our YouTube videos are AI assisted with Descripts, like in terms of the editing, the studio sound, even coming up with a title, etc. And it's like you just got to use it the right way. If you're spamming Google, obviously that's not the right way. So when are you getting the zero fade haircut, Kasra?
Absolutely no. I can't believe you've just asked me that.
He's jealous of my haircut. So thanks so much, Kasra, for being on.
Thanks for
And
having me.
And if you want a free SEO strategy session on how to get more leads, traffic, and sales and make more money with your website, feel free to book that in. Links in the comments and description. That comes with a free SEO domination plan. You'll discover the secrets of link building. We'll answer any questions you have, and you'll discover the best link building strategy for your website to quickly outrank your competitors. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye bye.